Welcome to another solo episode of Your Career Cure. This is Gail Tolstoi-Miller, and today we're going to talk about career change. Maybe you're thinking about making a career change. And before you do that, I want you to really think this through because it might not be your career that needs the change. It may be something else, and I call it career crushers that really suck the life out of your career. And when they suck the life out of your career, you think it's your career, but it's really something else. So let's get started with the first career crusher. And this is the most obvious, and that is having a horrible boss and working for a horrible company. Two of those together make for total disaster. And of course, when you are miserable at your job, it impacts how you view your day-to-day job, like your career. So you may think you hate your career, but really it's your boss and the company. What I want to do is a really quick exercise with you. If you could just close your eyes and just get into a little bit of a relaxed mode, that would be awesome. Now, I want you to imagine that you are working for a company and they're called Utopia. Yes, Utopia. And it's the company that is a company that you've always wanted to work for. It's the company that you envision would be the best company on earth that you would work for. The people there are amazing. Everything is amazing. It feels great. It feels supportive. It feels like you want to get out of bed every day and just go to work. And now you have this amazing boss. And the boss has all of the characteristics that you envision an amazing boss has, whatever that means to you. And you just love working for that boss and you love going to the company and you feel amazing. It's like nothing you've ever experienced before in a company and in a boss. This is what you've been looking for your whole life. It's great. You don't mind waking up every Monday morning early and going to work and staying late even. It doesn't even feel like work. And you feel so engaged and so alive. And it's like you want to be there. Now imagine you're working at this company, you've got this boss, and now you're doing the same thing as far as your job that you're doing now. How does it feel? Does it feel great? Do you feel more energized doing your job? You feel good? Or does it not make a difference? Do you still feel the same dread? That's that's going to answer your question. Is it your environment that is creating this? Because if you felt good in this scenario, I'm going to tell you it might not be your career. It probably isn't. It's your environment. It's your horrible boss. It's your horrible company. This happens all the time, and people get it confused. And what I'm going to say to you is most likely you need to leave. Okay. Regardless, if you've got a horrible boss and and you're working for a horrible company, life's too short. You spend too much time at work. You should be happy. So I would say think hard and take it serious about making a move regardless, whether you want to change your career or not. But I still want you to really think about, is it the career, right? You may want to make a move to another company, but still do what you want to do because maybe you loved it before. It's just that it started going downhill once, you know, you realized your boss is horrible and the company's horrible, right? It really sucked the joy out of it. Suck the soul out of your career. It's a soul crusher. It's a career crusher and a soul crusher. It's horrible. All right. So that's one scenario. Now, you could have a hybrid scenario. So you may have a horrible boss, but you have a company that you really like and you like everyone else in the organization. Maybe you want to stay in the company and not really change careers. Maybe you just want to transfer to a different department. Or maybe you do want to be doing something different, but within that organization, and you don't want to leave that company. You just need a different boss. So again, I would still do the visualization and figure out, okay, if I had a different boss, like I would say, think about a person in that company that you would love to work for in that company that you know is amazing, and envision doing the same job that you're doing now for them. How do you feel about that? Would you feel more energized? So then maybe you would want to be doing the same thing. It's just your boss. So these are the questions that you have to ask yourself, um, to really figure out, is it my career or is it my environment? Now, there's another career crusher, and that's called boredom and being stale in your career, right? So you may like your boss, you may like the company, everything's great, but you feel bored. You kind of like what you do, but you're not thrilled, right? You used to like it, you're not getting as much joy, but maybe you want to expand your role. Maybe it's not a complete career change, but you want to expand the role, you want to be more challenged. So my suggestion to you is figure out what that is. What would you like to do within the organization? Maybe it entails some training. Gather the information up. Figure out the value that that would bring to your boss and to the organization, and present it to your boss. If your boss is amazing, I'm sure your boss will be supportive if you can really provide the value that it brings. And maybe they will provide the training for you. Maybe they'll pay for it. So that's another option. Now, there is another career crusher that can happen, and it happens to a lot of people, is that there's something personal going on in your life. Maybe you're going through a divorce. Maybe there's a death in the family. Maybe there's something going on with your health. Maybe the stress of being a parent, you're a new parent, and it's just like overwhelming. And you're just, whatever's going on in your personal life is just sucking all the joy out of going to work every day. I'm going to say to you, think long and hard about making any kind of change, because most likely, I'm not saying definitely, okay? Most likely, if you make a move, you're still going to be miserable. So I would say hold off in making any kind of career change if you're going through something in your personal life. Let that play itself out before you make the change. Now, there may be something extenuating circumstances that only you would know, that you should make the career change. It would be beneficial. So all I'm saying is I want you to think about it. But again, I can't make that decision. I would never make any decisions for anyone. You have to make that decision. But again, I want you to think it through, especially if you are in a bad personal space, mentally, um, and you have maybe you're taking care of someone too, taking care of a child or a parent. It's very difficult too. If you've been with a company for a very long time and they're very supportive, and then you make another change to a company that doesn't know you, it may be disastrous. So you want to think about that. You really want to think about that. And maybe you do want to make a career change, right? Maybe there's a passion that you have. You really are, you've thought it through, you've thought about the career crushers, and you know what? You are done. You really do not want to be doing what you want to do. And I say, make the change. Make the change. Go for it. Life's too short. You should be happy in your career. We spend so much time working. You should be happy. But I want you to make sure that you're doing it for the right reasons and not for the wrong reasons. And that is it for this episode of Your Career Cure. This is my cure for today. And don't forget, happy career, happy life.